Hello, this is Storm Warden coming at you today with another video update. And today we're going to talk about the upcoming pattern, which is going to favor many severe weather episodes. We're gonna be seeing these severe weather series that are just going to continue to go through with these trough ejections that are coming out of the West Coast. And so we're going to continue to see these SBC outlooks like these, and we're just gonna see an active pattern overall. Towards the end of this video, I will briefly, very briefly, talk about the tropics because there is a 50% area located in the Caribbean. So we'll briefly, very briefly, talk about that. But for the first part of this video, we're going to talk about the severe weather risks that are upcoming Saturday and Sunday. So basically the entire weekend. And then this pattern it looks to continue at least for the next few weeks. So pretty active pattern going forward. If you've been liking my weather content, please subscribe. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So looking at our day 4 probability outlook, we already have a 15% risk located for Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. So basically, the central U.S., basically where our severe weather episode happened yesterday. Thankfully, the significant tornado threat did not pan out due to messy storm mode and a crashing cold front. And yesterday's video, we talked about the limiting factors and how a more messy storm mode storms that form too close together could ruin that SIG tornado parameter, and it did that. Now, I do think there was one significant or damaging tornado located over near the corner of Oklahoma going into Missouri, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I do think there was a big tornado down there, but other than that, though, thankfully, we had a much lower risk of tornadoes yesterday, and yeah, it just panned out much better, and the limiting factors went out. But looking towards this weekend, also have a day 5 outlook for our Sunday, and this could be the big one. And this is located over Oklahoma, Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, and Texas. So this Sunday's risk also looks like it could be a pretty big risk as well. So we're looking at a pretty favorable environment and just a favorable pattern overall for multiple severe weather opportunities. So you're probably wondering what does this look like on the surface analysis. So we have our 500 millibar heights, and what this is going to show us is those trough ejections off the west coast. So we're going to get into our weekend. You're going to notice these big trough ejections that are gonna happen to provide us with ample severe weather opportunities over the next few weeks. So we're getting into our Saturday. You can already see one of those trough ejections. Look at that. You can already see our first trough moving in Saturday. You see that little dig and then up, and I'll describe it like a slide. If you've been watching my prior videos, I always say it's kind of like a slide. You go down, you go up, and so you got a ridging over the east, troughing out west, and in between these areas, right along that central U.S., the middle part of the country, where you got the cold air, you got the warm air to the east, and then you got the troughing to the west. This is going to provide ample amounts of severe weather opportunities to our central part of the U.S. You can see that trough really digging down for our weekend, and then especially in the Sunday, you got stronger low level jet, and that's going to provide ample amounts of opportunity for severe weather opportunities. And you got a deeper trough that wants to date early next week, which could bring even more severe weather. And look at this, troughing just continues over western United States. So this should allow for multiple ample amounts of severe opportunities. I mean, we're getting into mid-November. We're still seeing some troughing until our pattern becomes more zonal and maybe give us some better rain chances over to the east. But you can kind of see all that troughing going on to our west. This is why we're seeing so much severe weather right now. So again, through the weekend, through early next week, maybe the next few weeks, we could be looking at multiple severe weather opportunities. Now here's a Euro model, and it generally shows the exact same thing. Has that trough really digging down for our weekend. This is what's going to give us those severe weather episodes over the weekend. We already have 15% risk located over the central U.S. from Texas as far north as Missouri to Nebraska. So again, expect multiple severe weather opportunities over the weekend. You can see the Euro model is doing the exact same thing, and that trough early next week looks even more powerful. So again, quite the favorable pattern for severe weather. So our moisture return over the next few days is going to be pretty significant with those deeper troughs moving in. You can see the deep moisture content really pulling north, getting as far north as Nebraska, almost up to the Great Lakes. So this just goes to show you that we're looking at a pretty favorable and strong trough ejection. And early next week's trough ejection looks pretty insane on the models. We can see that deep moisture going into Texas and Oklahoma, and right along that deep moisture meets with a strong low level jet, we're going to be looking at quite the favorable outlook for severe weather. And here's the GFS model, and it generally shows the same thing. Very deep moisture content pulling north for our weekend, and I'll slow this down a little bit. This is our Saturday afternoon. You can see that area where the SPC is highlighted 15% risk, that very deep moisture. And then Sunday, we get even deeper moisture, but further north. So you may have more of a widespread threat Sunday compared to Saturday's severe weather opportunity. So again, really favorable severe weather opportunities coming up. Again, I will be able to fine tune this a lot more, especially as we get closer to this event. Like tomorrow, when we get closer to the Saturdays and Sundays event, I'll actually be able to fine tune this. But generally speaking, over the weekend, expect a fairly active weather pattern over the weekend with multiple severe weather episodes, maybe even potential outbreaks Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be something to watch out for. Now, I was going to mention the tropics very briefly towards the end of this video. And here's your GEFS ensemble members. And we're going to start off with this. And so I want you to watch the area down in the Caribbean. And this is the area that we're watching. I draw it on your screen so you can see it. This is the area that we're watching for development, right up in there. So that's the area you want to watch. You can already see the bubbling up of the ensemble members. And so let's do this. So we're going back through time, and you can notice the ensemble members really jump up. Going into next week, you get a system to develop, and there's still some discrepancy on where it goes. Some models take into the Western Gulf, some models kind of linger over the Caribbean, some models take it through South Florida. There's a lot of discrepancy right now. We don't know a lot, but what we do know is that models are generally increasing on the possibility of something developing in the Caribbean. Here's the EPS models, and they generally EPS ensembles, and they generally show the same thing, albeit a little bit weaker. But again, they had been uptrending and showing better chances for development with our system. And again, some of them get into the Gulf, some of them kind of just linger over the Caribbean islands. So again, something to watch out for. The Hurricane Center, National Hurricane Center, has a 50% area located in the Caribbean for that same area that we were just highlighting, just looking at for potential development over the next 7 days. So that'll be something to watch out for. So generally speaking, guys, very active weather patterns on the way. Very favorable severe weather opportunities on the way, and also tropics look to be getting active as well. So I talked about this earlier this month, where I talked about towards the end of this month things are going to get active, and seemingly that is what's happening. So that's all I got, guys. Pretty quick video today. I just want to give you guys an overview of what we're dealing with before I give you a much more detailed video tomorrow, where I can actually break down the severe weather outbreaks this weekend.